Sunrock Vineyards was created to recognize a unique place in the grapes and wines it produces. We thought the best way to talk about the wines and their specific characteristics was to pair them with food grown nearby. Chef Derek Uhlemann was the perfect choice to explore Sunrock's terroir in this way. We asked Chef Uhlemann to create a menu for a long-table dinner under Sunrock's iconic rock face. Guests included people uniquely connected to Sunrock from the day it was planted to its current standing as one of the South Okanagan's top vineyard sites.
Well, it's really inspiring in a place like Sunrock because some of the farms that we already work with and producers are right here in the neighborhood. So, I first thought, well, one of the big features of Sunrock is the sun, and the terroir that comes with that. We see a lot of really strong flavors, not just in the wine, but in the food. Mm-hmm. So we felt that we have some friends over at Oxbow Farm that raise pigs, and we felt that the pork belly would be a great way to start. It really kind of has the rich and umami flavors that would work with the big wines that I find come from this site.
So you went with Cab Sauv?
We went with Cab Sauv, which often in my palate's a bit of a Merlot pairing, but the Cab from here has this great herbaceous notes, and tying in the lavender with a little bit of the radish sort of brings out the earthy sharpness. The blueberries brings out a little bit of length. And
a bit of fat to knock down the tannins in the wine too.
Absolutely.
That works well too.
And then just to make sure that Cab to me is one of the kings of varietals, and I want to make sure you honor the length of the wine because it really goes the distance.
Well, I love the look of these mushrooms.
Yes.
That is just one of the great pairings with wine, any wine really.
And we thought it'd be fun to do something that was a plant-based dish. The mushrooms come from What the Fungus, which is up in Summerland, called WTF, and it's an elm mushroom that's grown in this really neat closed system, really respects nature. Below it is some wild harvested morels. And those morels actually came from a peach orchard just over here. So we're fortunate to see not only the morels in the fire zones here, but in the bottom of the valley, we'll see them grow in amongst the orchards and vineyards.
And your choice for this, your wine choice was?
Shiraz. The Shiraz from Sunrock has great varietal characteristics, but I always try and find that forest floor and those mushroom notes because it's what distinguishes that Shiraz in BC.
And it's quite peppery, and this wine, well, it's kind of the icon wine from here in terms of it brought the attention to the site. So
absolutely.
Fun to have that with mushrooms. I look forward to that.
And then we have our short ribs on some alums, so it's got that bit of smokiness, a little bit of acid and bitterness.
Well, I like the earthiness in the beets. It works with the sweetness. Like it's quite a ripe style Meritage in 16, so I think that'll be an interesting.
Absolutely. It was a huge wine. One of the neat things about the Okanagan is that we do find these microsites, not only for vineyards, but also for the farms, really have different flavors. And I hear a lot of folks talk about minerality, but I've always been convinced it's the complexity of our soils that really bring in complex flavors. Same as the vineyard. You don't really get a chance to grow boring things in boring soil.
Yeah. Well, you have a crazy dessert, Illumina. We'll start with Zinfandel, which there isn't very much in BC, but you love Zinfandel.
I have a bit of a passion for Zinfandel. It's a harder grape to grow in BC. It's just on the edge of what we can see ripe, but doing that in the south here, you see a lot of really pretty notes come out. I always notice things like leather and but it's tobacco. So here we actually took some of these very fresh cherries, and those guys we macerated overnight in the Zinfandel blend, and then took some Dutch and Colombian chocolate and used that to more like a pave to put on top of the Zinfandel cherries, and then some fun pumpkin seed brittle.
Pumpkin seed brittle.
Pumpkin seed, yeah. And the pumpkins again just come from down the road. So, hopefully it'll tie a little bit of an undertone through the meal of the ground and the water and the soil here.
Looks like a beautiful meal, a local meal on a sunny day. The sun is setting on the rock.
Yeah, you really can feel it.
Can't wait to eat it all.